Hi, my name is Nicholeen Peck. I'm 15 years old. My mom is the coolest mom in the world. Some refer to her as the strictest mom in the world because my family was featured in a 2009 BBC documentary entitled The World's Strictest Parents. My mom recently introduced me to one of her friends named Nathan Juriwicz. Nathan has leopard print hair. At first sight, you would think my mom and Nathan would never get along. We decided to put that theory to the test. We invited Nathan to come and live at our home for 2 days and just see what would happen. Come with me and see for yourself. I am so excited to meet Nathan face to face. I've been taking his course online and it's been really, really good. And so to meet the man, the myth, the legend, face to face ought to be just amazing. I'm also really, really excited to see his hair.
We are at the Salt Lake City International Airport. We're waiting for Nathan to come in. He should be here in just a few minutes. We're excited. We've been looking forward to his visit for quite a long time. We've heard and read a lot of things about him, and we're excited to actually meet him. And I know Nathan comes from a smaller family, and we have 4 children in our family, so this might be a little bit of culture shock for him.
You know, I've heard a lot about this Nathan who's coming to our house, and I really am excited to see him. And we really love having house guests, and it's really fun. And so I'm just excited to see what he'll bring into our family.
Hey,
Nathan, how are you? Good. Can I touch your head?
Nathan, I'm Spencer. Welcome to Utah. This is our family.
Porter.
Porter in London.
Quinn.
And Paige.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here.
Just met the Pecks. They seem like a nice family. Nicholeen and I, we've gotten to know each other a little bit over Facebook through a mutual friend, and she wanted me to come out to kind of better understand the more conservative and even some of the homeschool community, so that I can better understand them, because she told me that some of them may look at me and see my first appearance and may not totally understand me. So you may look at me and Nicholeen and assume, wow, they're completely different, they're completely opposite. But in reality, after getting to know her over the past few weeks, just over the phone and on email and Facebook, we really have a lot in common. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this week.
Welcome to the room.
Okay, so this is where I'm staying.
Yes.
Awesome.
Together.
Awesome.
Yeah, but this is the room where James from the BBC stayed, but there wasn't a hockey table.
Right.
And hopefully it doesn't smell like gym socks, because it's Quinn's room. So Porter, what do you think of Nathan?
He looks funny with his hair.
You think his hair's funny?
Yeah.
Yeah. But does he seem like a nice guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Do you think maybe you'll have fun with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So, when you first saw him, what did you think? Did you think his hair would look like that?
No.
So, do you think he's a pretty nice guy?
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah. Is he weird?
Not really.
No, not really. He's just regular, huh? He just has funny hair.
So I'm all settled in at the Peck's house. They gave me my own room, which I didn't expect. They gave me some candy. This is like, I guess it's a local thing. It's a special Utah Salt Lake taffy. I don't know, but it's really good. And I think that a lot of people watching this video may think that I'm going to be like completely shocked or something like that. I don't know, maybe because I have leopard print hair that might have something to do with it, but I actually grew up in a really conservative Christian home, so this really isn't that much different. So I'm pretty much settled in. I'm just caught up on my work, checked all my email, and ready to eat some lunch.
I want to tell you today some of the things that I teach to people. It's way too big to, like, when I go talk to people, it would take me like a whole day to explain an overview of everything that I do. So I can't get into that depth. But there's some cool things that I do that nobody else does. We teach 4 basic skills.
Okay.
The first one is following instructions. That is the basic skill any child should ever learn. In fact, any person should ever learn. Then the next one is accepting no answers or accepting criticism. You know, if we say to somebody, really, I don't think you've showered in a couple of days. I think you need to go,
right.
you know, shower.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that applies to anything.
Life.
Really, yeah.
I mean, you cannot be a business partner with somebody or something like that and not be able to take criticism. It would be destructive. You'd never make it anywhere.
Right.
You have to be able to. And accepting no answers because failures come. Then there's accepting consequences. It's the same thing. Like, sometimes things aren't going to work out.
Right.
Sometimes you're going to mess up. It's going to happen. How are you going to handle it?
Fail.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to work.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've told my real estate and internet students in the past, you know, some of the stuff I'm going to tell you, this is what I did, so you should try it, and you're going to try it, and it's not going to work, and you're going to have to go try it again.
Right, right.
And like what happens is the majority tries it once, and then they're like, oh, it didn't work, it's Nathan's fault. You know, they don't understand. Like, you know, you don't understand it. But you know, you look at, if someone looks at someone of success, the only thing they see is the success. They don't really know the story of how many failures that person really had.
Oh, I love
because
that.
no one really talks about it.
I love that because the same exact thing happens in my parenting stuff. The last one, I think that especially teenagers, but a lot of little kids like the best, and that is disagreeing appropriately. Because that's their way where they say, okay, Mom, I get that you want me to do that, and I know why, but I was thinking that actually it would be better like this. And so couldn't we just do it this other way instead? Or can I not do that right now because I was in the middle of this? Or whatever it is. And that Mom recognizes, holy cow, that person could have had a total attitude problem instead of being that mature.
So that's why the parent, like, and I've seen this because I've got a lot of friends that have kids and are just like, well, that kid's just going to do it because I said so, and that's just the end of it. And they always have the worst kids ever.
Right. Because they never listen to them.
Right.
Because it's all about their way or the highway. And what they don't understand is that there's 2 sides to every single relationship. So you have one side that is coming from one person, how they feel about you, but then there's the other way.
Right.
And the parent's like, I'm fine. But the kid is not fine, and they've got to work on that. Relationship's huge. We could talk about lots of things, but I want to show you, since you're here, what it looks like, so that you can see how either incredibly complex or incredibly, like, basic it really is, but that nobody does it.
Right.
Okay. So let's see. Let's do following instructions. Even some of our visiting children today know how to do this. So I'm going to have... did you hear that? They're over there going, say, okay, okay, okay. I don't know what they're talking about, but that's funny. Porter, can you come here for a second, please? Hey, buddy. Thanks for coming. I need you to look at me because I'm going to give you an instruction, okay?
Okay.
Okay. You see that little helmet right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we should clean it up. So I'm going to give you an instruction to pick up that helmet and then be sure to check back when you're done, okay?
Okay.
So let's see, now watching, going over there. No, that's wonderful. You did all the steps of following instructions. You looked at me. You kept a calm voice and a calm face. You said okay. You did the task immediately, and then you checked back. You're pretty awesome. Okay, good play. Okay, so that's following instructions.
Cool.
Pretty complex.
Seems pretty easy.
see how it affected me?
It didn't affect you at all.
Yeah, and honestly, if she didn't know to keep going and going and going, soon she'd be like, okay, she's not venting back at me. When I was talking, when I did the thing with the BBC,
Right.
The girl had tantrums. Like, they didn't even show some of her tantrums. She was stomping and screaming like a 2-year-old. And, and then 2 days later, she was totally calm. And I said to her, Hannah, for 2 days you've been running away and screaming and having fits, and now all of a sudden, you're calm. How come? And she said, well, at my house, if I yell, I get my way, or at least somebody yells back. She said, but here, you guys are just so calm. She's like, it just doesn't do any good. And so I just figured I might as well just be calm.
Well, and if she started yelling back at me, I would feel like I had power. So I would keep doing it.
Right. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
So, what... Okay, so I never watched any of the other World Strictest Parents episodes with the other parents.
Mm-hmm.
How do they operate?
Big power struggle.
They
get in your face. I don't care. You need a blah blah blah.
And they punish
Take your nose ring out. You know,
like,
I mean, they're just like whatever.
Did every episode? Did the kids end up okay at the end, or were they still rebellious?
Not in everyone. You could tell they were really hard. Well, the one thing that the BBC told us was that, you know, some of them definitely the kids had a change of heart because they really felt loved, and it still was better than what they had had at home and their other, you know, environment. But some of the kids, it was like they just sort of chose to respect the people for their differences, but it wasn't like they really felt
like no one won
a major change. Yeah. But the cool thing about this one is when the kids were here, I'm almost going to cry when I tell you about it, because I love those kids. I mean, they're adults now, right? They're not even kids. It was a couple years ago, but when they were leaving on the show, you see Porter crying, you see everybody crying. And it was such a beautiful moment. And what people don't know is that they were saying, please don't make us go.
You see how calm my mom was? My mom has amazing self-government, and she tries to teach us self-government too. Nathan was pretty impressed, and I think realized the value of self-government.